Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams, and welcome to your reading. I am so grateful that you're taking time to tune in and see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Ashe. Thank you, Divine. I heard you're rich in every way. And so for some of you, you're truly manifesting a lot of financial wealth that goes along with your spiritual wealth. Rich in every way. Ashe. Thank you for that message, Divine. I'm going to start with the dice. So let's see what's coming through for you. Gotta be quiet with them. They can be really loud in the mic. Okay, so I see this fish here, and for me, fish signify financial prosperity, abundance. You notice fish are always in schools, they're in groups, usually, you know, in the wild. And so this is a lot of joint energy, of abundance, a flow of prosperity. Also something working in harmony in a group. I'm getting that with the school of fish. So there could be an influx of people coming to you for your services if you offer a service, or people interested in what you create. But it's going to be a positive, abundant flow of energy that creates wealth, okay? With this apple, it was in the reverse, and I don't usually do dice or read dice in the reverse, but it was in the reverse, and I'm hearing don't bite the apple. I had a reading a long time ago. It is just coming to me that was titled Don't Bite the Apple. And so with it in the reverse, I'm kind of getting the story of Eve and eating the apple in the Garden of Eden. So there's something about resisting temptation. I feel like resisting this temptation will help ensure your flow of abundance. There could be something that's trying to present itself as a distraction to you. Could be something from the past. With it being an apple, it could be a seductive energy. Okay, so your focus is very important. You're about to make a goal. You're going to hit your target. This is with something related to growth. It could be something that is perceived as competitive, like sales or business. It's not like you're doing it to be competitive, but it could relate to competition if it's related to business. But you're about to make a goal. It's a goal that you set for yourself regarding growth or sales, something within business. Okay, you're about to hit your target. Nice. Thank you, Spirit. I'm gonna keep the apple in reverse. I'm just talking to myself now. I'm gonna keep it in reverse here so I remember that it was like the vibe of seduction or guidance from Spirit saying not to give in to temptation. Okay, let's start with the crows. Oh, this one. Oh, these are from the last reading. Yeah, by the book and higher power. So these both I pulled in the last reading, but I'm seeing it differently here, so it was meant to be. First of all, this is card 11 and card 4, and those added together, 12, 13, 14, yeah, that's 15, which is the devil in the tarot. So there is definitely something about temptation here. Who trying to tempt you? Okay, we're gonna get into it. But with by the book, divine is saying to stick to your, whatever your moral compass is, okay? Whatever it is that you've committed to do as far as how you live, in order to stay in your positive energy, in order to not be weighed down. What I'm hearing is it's one of the 42 laws of Ma'at, and one of them says, I have not polluted myself. And I just read that the other night. I was reading the laws of Ma'at, and I thought that was such a beautiful statement. I have not polluted myself, or a commitment that you make to yourself to not pollute yourself. And that could be in any way introducing negative energy. Something's in my eye. Maybe by something that you're seeing, okay? Something that distracts you, or something that you're putting in your body, or something that you're engaging with another person. If there's somebody that you know is toxic, don't allow them to pollute your energy, okay? Also, that's coming through the 42 laws of Ma'at, the Egyptian deity Ma'at, okay? I love Ma'at. And I love researching her principles and just connecting with her energy. Yeah, this is a higher power. This is about you doing what's right for you, okay? You making choices that help you align with your North Node, okay? There could be somebody here who's angry, with wrath coming through. I'm gonna keep that one. Yeah, and ghosts. So this could be somebody who is out of your life now. It's someone who you do not still engage with. You may have chosen not to engage with this person, not to interact with them because, yeah, okay, so isolation. There could be somebody here who you have either sort of put in isolation as far as you're not talking to them. Not like you're trying to isolate them, but you just don't want to interact with their energy because they're low vibe. But also this could be something that you've been feeling. Perhaps you've been feeling isolated. There are certain points on our spiritual path where we feel lonely. And so if that's something that you've been experiencing, then it's usually in those moments where we're feeling lonely that we're tempted to reach out to someone, or somebody may have reached out to you. There may have been a long time of silence where you didn't hear from this person, and then they just pop up somehow. Hey, you know. Yeah. We'll take a look and see what's coming through with that. Okay, one more from here. Curiosity. You might be asking some questions. Okay, now this could go either way. You may have some curiosity about this person as to why they did not speak for so long, why they're popping up in your energy now, what's brought them back around, or they could be curious about you. If there was a long time that they went without talking to you and now all of a sudden they're reaching out, then, you know, that's a curious thing. I'm already getting some downloads, but we'll see what Spirit brings to. They said go to the cards. Go to the cards. Okay, let's go to the cards in Spirit. They're afraid of the painful ending they've manifested. Oh. So somebody's afraid of a painful ending that they've manifested because they separated themselves from you. So this person is reaching out because they don't want a painful ending. They feel like you'll soften the blow. Their presence with you, their ability to be with you will soften the blow. Or really what it is, this blow is karma. Okay? It's not something to just the universe decided to hit them with. No, this is whatever reason they separated from your energy, and however they did this, they're afraid of the karma that is creating for them in their lives. They realize 10-10, they know that something is over. And they know that it's because of their actions. And so now they want to sort of redo things. But what is their motive? Is it to repair and renew and get on the right track? Or is it just to make things easier for them? Well, based on what Spirit is saying, they want to soften the blow of their karma. Okay, manipulation. Yeah. Manipulation. That's what this is. Okay, there could be this person could be a father, or they may be the father of your child. You may share a child together, or you may be a father and share a child with them. This could be a female reaching out to you. Okay, take it how it resonates. There's something they're wanting to purify for their own sake. This person has had a lot of consequences that they have suffered. 1 1 2 3 on the timer. Since they left you. I'm hearing since they did you wrong, since they did you dirty. And this person has just enough spiritual knowledge to know that they are reaping the consequences or suffering consequences for what they have done to you. They do have a fear of that. 1144 on the timer, but they're still manipulating. They're still manipulating. You are in their thoughts. I'm getting, you know what I'm getting is like, they feel guilty, but they don't feel inspired to do right. So this is a very interesting place on the path, right? Not that they're on their correct path, but everybody's on the path. Even when they're spiraling and going the wrong way, they're still on the path, right? They're just going in the wrong direction. But the goal is always to ascend. And sometimes people descend before they ascend, right? This person is realizing things about themselves through the consequences that they're suffering by being separated from you. So what Spirit is bringing through is that if you interrupt this process of them learning their lessons, the only way that they're going to learn their appropriate lessons right now that they need to learn is not being able to get in your energy. If they are allowed to get into your energy and to access your goodness and your nurturing energy and your abundance and all of that, they're not going to learn anything. 1313 on the timer is going to be like an end to their growth, because it's kind of like padding the fall. This person needs to feel that suffering that's created by them not having access to your energy. That's what's going to teach them. They carefully curated each post to deceive other people. So this could be a person who left you or discarded you, which they call it with the whole narcissist. And then they could just have narcissistic tendencies, but some of those types of tendencies are coming through and downloads to me. So they might not be a full-blown narcissist, but they could have some narcissistic traits. Okay? This could be a person who discarded you, discarded the relationship, and then, you know, they're posting pictures of their new person on social media for you and everybody else to see. I'm getting that for some of you, these pictures could be fake, because this is a person, I'm getting AI, they like to use AI. So some of these pictures could be digitally enhanced or like basically deep fakes, you know. For some of you, it really is a person that they photographed and they've been showing off this person. Pictures of vacations. I keep getting that for some of you. This person's pictures are so fake. They're like, I see somebody posing in Italy and it's fake. That fountain in Italy, is it the Trevi fountain? Some beautiful fountain in Italy. One of the major cities there, Rome, Florence, Venice, but it's a beautiful fountain and they're posed there and it's fake. Divine says, look at the lighting, it's off. Spirit telling us secrets. Oh my goodness, telling all these secrets. Okay, that's for somebody. But yeah, for some of you, this person is so desperate to make people believe that they have moved on and that they've got this dime piece, you know, new supply of energy, because they got to feast on someone's energy, right? How dare they connect with the divine and get their own source of energy? So they're showing off their new supply, but it's a lot of fakeness going on, okay? Yeah, so this person is super nosy, because even though they've been posting pictures of their new wonderful life, quote unquote, they are so obsessed with what's going on with you. And they have not stopped. Okay, this does sound like a narcissist, low-key, like, I'm not gonna lie. The more things that Spirit is revealing about them, it sounds more and more like a stalking narcissist. But they are very concerned about what's going on with you, because they don't want to let you out of their scope. That's what I'm hearing. So I'm getting Page of Swords energy, where they want to keep their eyes on you. They always want to know what's going on with you. Also, what I'm hearing is that they were never satisfied with the new supply. They know that you, okay, and this sounds like the narcissist is talking, but what they're saying is you rank higher. Like, I mean, we know that you do, but I just hate that it's like grading someone, you know, like, but anyway, that's how this person thinks of the situation, that you rank higher. That's literally what I'm hearing, that you rank higher. I'm hearing the highest of the high. Is that Ascension by Maxwell? Shouldn't I realize you're the highest of the high? And if you don't know, then I'll say it, so don't ever wonder. See, they're not singing that last part. That part is the sweetness. They're just coming through with, you're the highest of the high. Now, where he says, if you don't know, then I'll say it. So there's something about them feeling like they need to say something to you in order to keep you from fully getting away. See, that's why they hoover. That's why they come back, because they don't want you to get over them. And they're all narcissists, even though they come through, this person, even though they come through as very arrogant, very confident, it truly is a facade to cover up their insecurity. So they're always insecure about losing you. They're always afraid that you're going to find someone else. Perhaps you have found someone else. Perhaps you're talking to someone else. Okay? And usually narcissists can pick up on energy enough to be insecure with it. So if you are interested in another person, or another person is expressing interest in you, they might be able to intuitively pick up on this. So narcissists don't use their intuition in an empathic way to heal and love and all of that, but they are intuitive in that they pick up on energy to feed their insecurity. If they think that you're moving on, oh, they can pick up on that. If they think that you're curious about them cheating, they can pick up on that. Okay, they can pick up on all the toxic stuff, and they can pick up on things that they use to hurt people or to degrade them. You see what I'm saying? They can pick up on people's insecurities to figure out what they should say in order to put somebody down and just beat them in the ground. You see what I'm saying? Sick. They can't handle being exposed, but loved gossiping about you. So this could be a person who gossiped about you to family and friends. They talked about you to make you appear a certain way, like you weren't supportive or like you weren't pulling your weight in the relationship. But they cannot handle being exposed. So whatever has come out about their behavior, they can't handle that. Oh, but they love trying to expose you, and they weren't even exposing you. They were lying about you. There's a big difference. There's a big difference. Or perhaps they were sharing things with people that was none of their business. Okay, because certain things in a relationship should just be kept private. But yeah, in other words, they had no problem talking about you, but when anybody's talking about them, they just flip their shit. Caused harm. Oh, and see, now they're gonna make me mad. Caused harm to a child. I'm getting that this could have been negligence. This could be a person who's very self-obsessed. I'm seeing a person like in a car, and the child is in the back of the car, and they're not, the adult in this situation is not concerned with the child. Like the child needs something. They're in the back, they're in the car seat, and they're like calling out to the parent, and the parent is just being non-responsive, or they're paying attention to something else, or they're like, oh, just be quiet, you know. But this is like a 2-year-old. I'm seeing like a young child. So those don't have to be all the details that align with your situation, but that is what I'm seeing. The overall vibe here is that this person has not been responsive to a child when they needed something. And so it feels like neglect because this person is putting themselves first in that moment. Okay, that's what it feels like. The child doesn't have to be young. They could be older. It could be that they haven't been responsive about this child's needs regarding their academics or something like that. Maybe when the child was with them, their grades were dipping. You know what I mean? They were not performing well in school. It's something like that. It feels like that. That's what's coming through. Infatuated. This person is infatuated. And you know what? I'm getting that they're infatuated with you, but also whatever new supply came along, they were temporarily infatuated with them because they saw this person, whoever came along, they attached themselves so quickly to them because they saw them as their escape route from a relationship with you, where they wanted to immediately feel like they had a source of pride because it was such a blow. Realizing how they interacted with you, they felt like they blew it, but they didn't have the humility to come forth and say, I messed up. You know, of course, narcissists don't take accountability, okay? So that's where they went wrong. I mean, they went wrong many times. It feels like every turn was a left turn. But as far as when the relationship was ending, they were not willing to step up and say, I did this and I did that and I'm sorry, or let's work on it. They just immediately became infatuated with another person and transferred all of their hopes and dreams that they had with you to this other person, hoping that they would be their salvation, making them look good on social media, making people think that they had moved on. They wanted this person to worship them. They wanted this new person, this new supply to worship them. Yeah, so this person is afraid that you are manifesting a divine union. And what I'm getting is that you have one either on the way, or you're already, like this person, there's a divine union that you are manifesting. For some of you, you've already come in contact with this person. But what I'm getting is that that's what's setting this past lover off. Set It Off. I've never seen that movie all the way through, but there's something there. Set It Off. This person could be violent. Because I know that there was like violence in that movie. But I'm hearing set it off. Like they are so nervous about you manifesting a divine union. I heard, don't you know I heard it through the grapevine that you, what is it? That you're no longer gonna be mine. Hey, I heard it through the grapevine. Okay. Oh, not much longer would you be mine. Yeah. That's what's happened. That's what's happening. This person heard through the grapevine that you're moving on. They heard from somebody. I heard a cousin of a cousin. I don't know. Somebody spilled some beans, spilled some tea, or said something alluding to the fact that you are admired by someone. But I'm getting that what was like the tea that was spilled, and I don't, you know, people talk, right? So this could be your experience or not, but this is what this person is picking up on. That there's someone who's very interested in you, but you're kind of playing it cool. Like you're focusing on yourself. But there's someone who is very, very interested in you, very motivated. Hey, I heard it through the grapevine. Not much longer would you be mine. This person is sweating. They're sweating. Okay. Joyful. You know, this is what sets off a narcissist more than anything, is your joy. Your pure, divinely inspired joy. And that's why they're nervous. Because they do not see that you're coming after them. You're not envious of them. You're not expressing extreme anger towards them. Like, I feel like you may have felt anger towards this person because that is something that we go through when we experience betrayal by a narcissist or we come out of a relationship with a narcissist. But you are handling your anger in a very beautiful way, and I feel like this is something that you've been doing in the past. You're either approaching or you're already in a space of peace. And even if that's something that you're still working on the inside, the energy that you radiate is like, baby, I'm good. Okay? And it's real. It's real. So whatever healing work you've done, that's what this person is picking up on. Plus some rumors. And so all of a sudden they hear Grapevine and Maxwell, shouldn't I? You know, they're like singing love songs because they remember your beauty. They remember your sincerity, your loyalty, all of those things that initially they were so attracted to. But because of their own insecurities, because of their own unhealed wounds, and because of their own unwillingness to take accountability for anything that they've done, they were never able to absorb your goodness and then return it with their own sweetness and love. It never happened because this person is completely broken. And they're so afraid that the person who came first in their, like Spirit brought through, this person says that you rank the highest, you're the highest of the high. They are so afraid of losing that because they know that whatever person it is that they were showing off, for some of you, this person could have been showing off multiple people. Whoever it is that they were showing off and that they perhaps even moved in with or parented another child with, however it is they quote unquote moved on, they didn't really move on. They tried to replace the space in their life where you were with this person. Now, here's the thing, like with this apple, I feel like there's some curiosity here. I feel like ultimately you know that this person is not right, okay? Perhaps because of the amount of time that has elapsed between when you last heard from them or when you last sat down with them or really had a conversation with them. You might be wondering, have they changed? Have they grown? Okay, so even though manipulation came through I feel like that's very telling right there. But let's take a look and see what this person's intentions are in reaching out to you, or where they are energetically at this time. Okay, Knight of Wands on the fence. So they are definitely wanting to get in the bedroom. That's the apple. That's the apple in reverse, okay? Also, they are concerned with family. Like, they want stability. They want the stability of a home. So whatever it is that they were experiencing with these other energies that they were entertaining, or this other person, that other person did not provide them the same level of stability that you provided. Now, for some of you, this could be that you were supporting this person financially. They might be missing that. They might be, I'm hearing it's all about the Benjamins, baby. Do not. Okay, let me not tell Spirit not to put P. Diddy in my head, but please, Spirit, I can't take that one. But thank you for the message, because the message is that they're all about the money. Okay, they're all about the money. I think P. Diddy did that song. Anyway, thank you, Divine, for that message. I'm just not a fan of P. Diddy. Okay. What else about this person's energy needs to be known? Okay, yeah, they're definitely coming back with that big ass shining cup. Okay, but it's, you know, what's in the cup? What's in the cup? It doesn't feel like water or wine or anything that you'd value, you know, not even juice. It feels like some poison. That's what it feels like. Yeah, and it leads to the Five of Pentacles. Whatever it is that they're offering in that cup leads to the Five of Pentacles. Poverty. Isolation. Isolation came through. You know, so if you have been feeling like you wanted to connect with someone, this isn't the one to connect with, because this person would make you feel lonelier than you started. You know what I mean? I'm getting that that's the effect that this person has on everybody. Even whoever their previous supply was, that person is feeling lonely. They're feeling, I heard that they're feeling like they're living in a ditch. I don't know what that means. Take that how it resonates. But they might be feeling like this person has driven them to a place of being homeless, or like where I'm hearing rent is due. What are we going to do? Which could be a reason why they're wanting that Ten of Pentacles with you, that stability that you provided. Okay, and let's not forget, Knight of Pentacles on the fence is not good. Knight of Pentacles in any way other than the upright is trouble in the bedroom. It's like somebody wanting to put it on you. And we know that narcissists love to control people through sex. It is their number one way or method of controlling people. And don't let them combine magic with it too. Now, I'm not getting that with this person. They could be a warlock or a witch, but you know, and with that, it's all about how you use your power, right? But that hasn't come through, but I'm just saying, I like to put that out there, because if you ever feel like you're really attracted to a person and you don't know where that's coming from, a lot of times, especially if it hits you out of the blue, you know, you've been like, yeah, a person mentions them and you're like, whatever. And then the next day it's like, you know, that's a love spell. So if you have experienced that, cleanse your energy, protect yourself. But I haven't seen any of that is coming through the cards, but it came through the reading for a reason. Maybe somebody listening to this reading is experiencing that. Okay. Yeah, this person is nothing but trouble. They're nothing but trouble. Is there any, they said use this one. Oh, and I wouldn't mind looking up their intentions, just so you're fully prepared. You know what I'm saying? What intentions? Apology. Okay, so they're gonna, I'm sorry. You know what I saw all day today was a child crying, and like, but it's an adult. But it's an adult that's acting like a child. Oh, I'm sorry. I feel like this person could come to you with crocodile tears, acting You know what I'm saying? They may have been even watching some videos on how to really convince somebody of something, and they're coming in for the Oscar, the Emmy, the Tony, all of the awards. They want all the awards to see what they can get away with. Because you know what? This person knows that they would have to really do it up big in order to even stand a chance to convince you of something. So that's a compliment to you, because they see you as very strong. They know your strength. They know that they're not going to be able to pull this over on you without pulling out all the works, like doing the most. Doing the most. Curious. That's the second card that came out, with curiosity and also nosy. So you know what that tells me? This person is like, yeah, see, it's like your joy. They're so taken aback by how happy you are, how radiant you are, that they're just like, I gotta know what's going on. It's almost like a nosy girlfriend or like ex-girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like Mean Girls, which is really crazy, because this could be a same gender relationship, but I am getting that for some of you it is male and female, masculine and feminine. And so it's very strange that this person is, even if they're more like they try to exude masculine energy, this is some real like mean girl type behavior. Like they're so nosy. So that's actually very common with narcissists though. A lot of narcissists, no matter what their gender is or what kind of dominant energy they have, masculine or feminine, they act like mean girls. So sage advice. Okay, they're also coming to you for some sage advice because they know that they have messed up their life. That's a part of that karma that they're trying to avoid, because they know that since they left you, or however things ended, okay, I'm getting that they attempted to make it look like it was a discard. You may have left them. You may have discarded them because you knew what you needed to do. But they have tried to make it at least look like they discarded you, as far as how they presented it to other people, because their ego is so fragile. What else does this beautiful being need to know about the situation? Drip. Serious, swag or vibe, stylish, turning heads, magnetic, inner richness, status, and substance. That's exactly how they see you, and that's why they're coming back to try to get this Ten of Pentacles. They see you as rich. Rich. Okay, and it's real. Your wealth is real. So there's some sort of status upgrade that you've had since this person has been out of your energy. And now they want to... No. Like, their exit is the main reason why you are succeeding so beautifully, why you are so joyful. 3757 on the timer. Like, why would you go back? But they're hoping for that. You know, that's what they always hope for. What else, Spirit? What does this beautiful being need to know? The scapegoat. Unfairly blamed for problems, conflicts, or shortcomings, carries the burden of guilt or blame, suffers emotionally and socially. That's the role that they want you to play. Even if they were to come back, this is what they want, to continue to blame you, because they're not going to take any accountability for anything. Blackballed. So this could be, I feel like, even if they try to blackball you, okay, you know, narcissist games, right? But they've been blackballed. So that's one reason why they need to come to you for advice, because they've been ostracized and excluded from a group due to disapproval or negative actions, intentionally shut out. This person has been intentionally shut out from a group. I heard don't nobody want them. Don't nobody want them. Because you know what I'm hearing, I'm picking up on, is that their new supply wanted them based on lies that they told. Their new supply thought that they would be able to have this Ten of Pentacles with them. And so when they proved to be irresponsible with money, with finances, it's like the new supply was like, oh no. You know, it was like immediately a switcheroo, a 180. Because that was one of the main reasons. That's how they got them, was by telling them lies. Because, you know, some narcissists, they have enough positive traits where they can genuinely get a person that is interested in things, or that will stay with them for reasons that they can actually back up, even if it's just their ability to make money and things like that. But I'm getting that all the reasons why this new supply wanted the ex, the narcissist, is because of lies that were told. There was nothing true about the narcissist that their new supply wanted them for that was actually true. You know what I mean? It was all based on lies. So this person has been blackballed. A frivolous lawsuit, distractions from real issues, abuse of power, empty attacks, or baseless accusations and false claims. I'm getting that this person may have done this to you. They may have actually tried to hit you with a lawsuit of some sort that was frivolous, but they are facing legal consequences now. They're facing legal consequences now. And now they want advice from you. Huh, please. Please. They're trouble. They're absolute trouble. I'm hearing they're trash. They're trash. And as long as they act like this, yeah, exactly. Trash. Okay, so let's see what Divine is inspiring you to do. Because we know it ain't this. I feel like there's something so wonderful for you because you're joyful, you're looking good, you're magnetic, you're radiating beautiful energy. Okay, so look, inspiration and courage. So, I have to drop the cards. I'm so excited. So, this courage not only speaks to your actual courageousness, but your strength as well with the lion there. So, because of what you've been through with this person, you have the strength to do something so amazing that you didn't have before. So that's one of the positive things about these experiences with a narcissist, is they equip us with knowledge and understanding of people and the mind. And they, you know, with a narcissist, like a real narcissist, I'm not talking about people who are like, oh, they're a rude person or they're emotionally immature. No, I'm talking about an actual narcissist. When you go through an experience with a person like that, you either sink or swim. And so what Divine is bringing through is that you have chosen to swim. And not just doggy, what is it, doggy paddle? Like you're doing the butterfly, you're doing the breaststroke, you know, you're doing it all. Swimming on your back, what is it? I don't know all the strokes, but you're doing it all. And you're damn near ready for a triathlon. Like you're not just swimming, but you're running, you're doing it all. And that's something that was inside of you waiting to come out. And I feel like the struggles that you've experienced with this person who is, I know that they were very trying, very uncouth, very dishonest. And it probably felt like a brutal experience going through this relationship. But you have made it through to the other side, where you show as this lion or this lioness that is ready for whatever. And now you're inspired. Look at that light inside of you. That's what this experience has awakened. And that's something that this person sees. And now they want a piece of it. They want your light, but they don't get to enjoy it because they didn't nurture it. And they're not coming back to nurture it. They're coming back to get a piece of your energy. They're coming back to steal your light. Never. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm hearing that this person with the Knight of Wands, with them coming back with the Knight of Wands, there might be something about them that's good in bed. There might be something about them that's appealing. You know, they might have some tricks. But you know what? Now this is the raw truth, okay? No pun or anything intended, but okay, this is the truth. When you heal from a person, like a relationship with a narcissistic individual, and they used to put it on you, it's almost like being with them, it's like the effect of being under a spell. And a lot of times it really is like that because they have demonic energies that are helping them to attract 4444, you're protected, but they help this person to attract people to them so that they can feed off of their light, right? So basically they have lustful demons that make them more appealing. But what happens is when you heal and you vibrate higher, let's say you haven't seen that person for 6 months or a year or maybe a couple years. You see them and the way you remember them is like, ooh, they were so good. You know what I mean? It's like, And then you see them and you're like, the hell? Get away from me, demon. You really feel like that because you see this person from a place of like you're standing in your light, right? And your light shines on those demons. You're able to see them. And you're so like appalled. You're so appalled. And you just feel like you can't get away fast enough. You know? You just want them to get away. That's what happens. So whatever sexual appeal you may have felt from this person because they were skilled or, you know, typically what it is that the person is not that great at all. They're not that skilled. It's just that they had lust demons that were boosting their sexual appeal, and at that time you were at an energetic frequency where, you know, you kind of you know, but you're not there anymore. You're not even in that zone anymore. So if you were to get around this person, whatever appeal it is that they had before, it would not be there. It would not be there. Okay? Yeah, so this person has a strategy, but so do you. And so the strategy that Divine is recommending is to stay in your light. Also with this feather here, it's like a pen, you know, an old school pen. They're saying to take note of the reality of things. How did this person really treat you? What impact did they really have on your life? Did it actually do anything for you to have hot sexual experiences with this person? Or was it like canceled out? The joy of that was canceled out because the next day they were acting a fool. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. So this person is trying to grab you up. That was my dice. My nail hooked onto it. They're trying to grab you up. They're trying to reel you back in. They want another go round. They want to loop you into something. Yeah. They want to hook you. So that's their strategy. But Divine is saying that your strategy comes from your intellect. Because as long as you take account of the ways in which this person brought harm to you or put you in harm's way, or the way that they gambled, I'm hearing they gambled with your life, they gambled with your safety, they gambled with your peace of mind. With you standing in your light now and having the courage that you have, you are not going to give this person any room to do anything naughty or crazy or rude or ridiculous. Okay, so let's see. I wanted to pull from that from this deck, the Cosmic Energy, to see what blessings are coming towards you. Okay, first of all, you are in your divinity. Remember that. Okay, you do not need to bite an apple. Okay, because that's not the one for you. But I am seeing that there is divine union energy that is within your space. And that could be something that other people are talking about because they notice it, they feel it. And so it's like some people are gossiping about it already. But whatever you got going, like, keep it private. Keep it private. Because, you know, narcissists are the ones who like to show off because they really don't have anything true. So they have to brag about everything and make everything into a show. Carefully curate everything and put it out there. But when you've really got something good, you don't have to show it off. You can just simply enjoy it. And people are going to sense your enjoyment, your abundance, and the love and passion in your life, because you're not going to be able to contain it. It's going, like it's supposed to be radiated, you know what I mean? But yeah, you don't have to share anything. You can be private and honor your manifestations. Divine is saying to meditate. All right, so go within. This is a good way to protect yourself. You can set up a hedge of protection around you. Connect with your angels, ancestors, spirit allies, the divine itself for your protection, to shield you from this ex's energy. Okay? So that's a great thing to do in meditation, is set up your protection. Yeah. Visualize protective energy all around you that your ex cannot penetrate. Okay. Oh, look, that's the second courage card that came through. Look at this. Divine is really saying congratulations on the courage that you have, and they're reminding you that you have it. So you're being seen here not only as a lion, but also as an eagle. The eagle is letting you know that you have the sight that you need. You see what you need to see. You see clearly. Okay? And you're seeing from a higher perspective than where you used to. There are ways that perhaps before you would act out of your lower self, perhaps due to anger or the emotional turmoil that this person caused. And you're in a higher way now. You have elevated, you've ascended, and so you're not in that animal nature at all. You see what you need to see, and you're aligned with the divine. So now you act with dignity and self-love and courage. Ashe. And you have the freedom to move forward joyfully with your manifestations, with your divine love and divine connections that you're attracting, because this energy of courage and joy and freedom, that naturally attracts love to you, and real love. Okay, like real love, not just attachments, but real love. And that's exactly what's coming to you. Ashe. Thank you, Spirit. I'm grateful for these messages, and I'm so grateful to you, beautiful being, for taking the time to tune in. I hope that you got something really positive out of these messages. Some peace, some insight, some encouragement. And I love you. And I wish you peace. I wish you joy and so many blessings. Take care.